everybody. Welcome to the Boss Rush Podcast, the premier flagship podcast show for BossRushGames.com. It's hosting today on twitch.tv/Exodus803, so thank you for joining us. I've got today a pretty big panel with me today, so it's a 5-man squad, including myself today. So of course, as usual, is the enlightened and excited Eddie V.
Always down for the hunt, everybody. Hello.
My PlayStation doctor is joining us today. Hey, Austin.
I still need to get on the hunt. I haven't even started.
Josh, what are we calling you today? What I mean, what's your nickname? Because
He's the outrider.
No, I'm not the outrider. Not the outrider. I have a myriad of names if you guys would ever listen to.
You are the target of destiny because you call nerd journalists and your other guests like the dollar store or something like that.
Listen, Johnny is the Dollar Tree Zavala because if Corey is the pinnacle, okay, Corey is our standard Titan. If he's not there, I mean, that's like you're losing IKEA levels of business. We got to go all the way to the bottom and work our way back up, okay? We had to go down to Dollar Tree. We almost went 7-Eleven, but I felt like that was a little too rich.
Yeah, everybody, please check out the latest Towers Casual to understand.
No, I'm the mayor of the Deep Stone Crypt.
There we go. Corey always has these ready for you, so I
He does. He does. We said we're going to do fan art of my guardian, like in a 3-piece suit with a top hat and a monocle.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
The Monopoly man of the Deep Stone.
Right. That's right. Give me like one of those obnoxiously big mustaches.
What's up, guys? All right. And subbing in today for Corey is, of course, myself, LeRon at Exodus803. I'm not going to give myself a fancy name or title. You guys are welcome to give me something if you want.
Did we forget Grayson?
Of course we.
No, we did not. No, we did not forget Grayson. I'm about to get to him. I forgot to intro myself, so I circled it back.
I was like, damn, LeRon's cutting out the guest.
I'm gonna go
everything.
Of course we have. Everybody, of course, we have the PC muscle race himself, Mr. LeRon Dawkins.
All right. Yep, that's me. All right, and we have a guest today with us. Joining us today from his nice, wonderful, well lit desk is Greysun Morales. Hey, Grayson, what's up?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Real quick, go ahead. Oh yeah, real quick. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself because a lot of our fans and people that are watching, this is probably your first time ever seeing or hearing of you.
Yeah, sure. So I am currently the guides editor at GameRant.com, which you guys might have heard of. They're the sister site to The Gamer and Screen Rant and Collider. So I've been working there for a few months now, full time. And besides that, I'm very much a Nintendo guy, PlayStation guy. As you guys probably could tell earlier, I'm not an Xbox person at all. I haven't had an Xbox in years, but yeah, it's mostly Nintendo. Big Monster Hunter fan, Square Enix, JRPGs, Capcom. So just pretty much a big weeb. So yeah, that's pretty much me in like a nutshell.
All right, cool. So how's everybody's Saturday going?
Man, it's about to get busy after when I get to work. A lot of places have been running out of Easter stuff, and my job still has a lot of Easter stuff, so we about to get just like hit hard. But I've been having a great weekend with Monster Hunter and some other stuff. So yeah, I've been having fun.
That's good. Anyone else?
How was your time? Oh,
I was gonna say it's just gonna be a busy weekend.
I was going to ask about your Thai food.
Dan and I, we met up in Richmond over there right in the VCU area, the VCU area, and we hopped to a couple of different restaurants before we actually made up our minds because we initially were going to just meet up at this one Thai food place, and the food, we sat down, had a couple of appetizers, but all they had was outdoor seating. And yesterday in Virginia, like it was chilly and the wind was just blowing. So the outdoor seating was just it was like, man,
Ridiculous.
we can't deal with this. So
Dude,
we
oh,
go
I was
ahead.
gonna say it's still cold and windy here.
Yeah.
In Illinois.
Yeah, so we paid for our appetizers and our drinks, and then we went to another spot that we thought was going to be a good alternative, but they were more like it was another type place, but they were more, I don't know. I don't want to badmouth it because Richmond, there's a lot of food diversity in Richmond, so I'm pretty sure if we had sat down and ordered something from the menu, it probably would have been good, but we weren't impressed with what we saw, so.
LeRon orders off menu, is what he's saying. He's the asshole who goes to In-N-Out and has to order off the secret menu.
Off the secret menu. Okay, I'm not that. I'm not
the best.
The secret menu is the best, but I'm not that pretentious because knowing me, I'm always gonna get that one person that has no idea what this menu item is, and is like, okay, yeah, sure. But we wound up actually selling in for the place that for the second place we thought that's where we were going. We found that actual place. It's called Thai Top 10. So 3 T's Thai Top 10, and man, we had a nice spread. We had like 3 different appetizers. We ordered like 2 big entrees of fried rice, and man, so their spice level there they go from 1 to 4. Their spice level. So we were doing the 3, and and between the two of us, we can handle our spice pretty well. But we were sitting there, we were talking. We got to a point where we were halfway into our food, and we're like, man, if this is the 3, I can't even fathom what the 4 is.
It was that spicy?
It was spicy. Okay. So if you got mild, and then you've got like if you got mild. You've got, and then the next step up. Well, let's say it's firecracker, where you eat the food, and you get the heat, but the heat immediately subsides. So it's more like it's just reminding you, hey, we've got some spice in there. And then the next one would be like dynamite, where basically like you eat it, you don't hit this, you get the hint of the spice, and then all of a sudden it's there. Okay, so we're gonna say that's dynamite. So that's level 3. So we got mild, we got firecracker, we got dynamite. We can only imagine that level 4 spice at that place had to be like 3 Mile Island or something. Had to be, because I want to say like a third of the way into it, like nose was running and stuff. Like we're getting was able to clear up the sinuses and stuff like that. And then and the cool thing about the entrees though was like they gave you like the sliced cucumbers and a couple other things. So at least it's like it helps cut the heat.
Cool you are.
Yeah.
I still because I didn't get to look for the Thai food place Thursday. I'm gonna find one and I'm gonna try it because when we was talking about it on Power Block, I was just like, since I never had Thai, I never had their fried rice, and I really want to try it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, Thai fried rice is some good stuff.
Chicago too.
Oh, Grayson, email me. Hit me in the text.
He responded with the quickness.
Grayson,
I mean,
already know that it's. Oh, go ahead, Grayson.
This is you cannot go wrong. Chicago, like I think every single Thai place I've been to, like it's good. It's not bad. But you should go to Argyle, right? Because they have a bunch of Thai places and Asian places and stuff. So
is that off the red line?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then I know where it's at.
It's like the north side.
I think I'll go visit. Yeah, I haven't been to the city in a while, so everybody's just like, if you want the food spots, you got to go to the city. So if I could find some good Thai places in Chicago, hey, give me a list and I'll go visit.
You can get some boba too while you're at it for dessert, whatever.
I don't think I've had a bad meal in Chicago.
Yeah, it's very hard to.
I went there and had just a straight week of nothing but good food, no matter where I went.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? Anything good? Go your week or weekend? I'm sorry.
I mean, so far it's been chill. I just I've had a busy week as well. I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter and writing guides, and we had a lot of Outriders stuff to do yesterday. So I'm just kind of taking this weekend to hopefully just relax and play a lot of Monster Hunter and watch anime and stuff. So
I honestly should.
What are you watching right now? What are you watching?
So my partner and I are trying to catch up on Attack on Titan because so I was a big fan of season 1 what that was like 6 years ago at this point, probably
Yeah.
7 years ago, and I didn't watch season 2 when it came out.
Okay.
So now we're in season 2 and it's getting really good. So I can't even imagine how season 3 is. And I've heard season 4 is incredible as well. So even
It's
slowly,
fucking bonkers.
yeah, slowly
Hey-
working our way through.
Hey Josh,
Yo.
what season is My Academia on now?
My Hero Academia just started season 5 last week.
Mm.
Okay, I think I need to see 4.
I think you need to see 4 as well.
Because isn't it 3? It's like when they was fighting the other team. Where did I leave off at? It was one of them that they met 3 new people. And it left and it cut off for there. And I think it goes into season 4.
That's where season 3 ends with them meeting 3 of the third year students.
Yeah.
So like you met Mirio, Tamaki, and Nejire is who you
Yes.
met.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's the direct prelude to season 4. Season 4 is like all 3 of them factor in majorly to the plot of the first half.
Okay, so then I need to catch up on 4.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know I was gonna get Funimation. I still need to probably get it because I want to watch.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah, get Hulu. It's
I watched.
Yeah, it is on Hulu. Yeah.
Funimation, like, so there's not a single good anime app out there. Funimation and Crunchyroll are both just so god awful.
Well,
They're absolutely abysmal.
Because
Yeah.
I think Crunchyroll has the 3rd season of Food Wars. Because Hulu don't have it yet.
Crunchy. So I mean, if you have no other choice, I guess watch stuff on Crunchy. But like, I've been trying to watch. I was watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and let me tell you something. Having the characters be in a conversation and then it just cut to commercial in the middle of a word is the most annoying thing. You
Yeah.
can't see how long the commercials are going to be, how many commercials there will be. It is so annoying. And then they come back and you're like, you get maybe like 2 more sentences and then there's the actual commercial break.
Okay, last question. Is that anime on Hulu or is it only Crunchyroll?
Which one?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen is on so it's only on Crunchyroll, but the English dub, it's a few weeks behind, is on HBO Max for some inexplicable reason.
Because I know you've been talking about it, and everybody said it's such a
Jujutsu
good anime.
Kaisen. So okay, I was not into anime until last summer. Jujutsu Kaisen is something I'm so glad that I'm watching as it airs.
They said
because I'm all caught up on the manga, and it's amazing. I love Jujutsu.
The
Kaisen.
fight scenes are good. I think everybody's like.
The fight scenes are good and like they actually matter for the plot. Like there's a lot of character development that happens during those. It's not like other animes where it's just like, okay, we're gonna beat the shit out of each other for 3 or 4 episodes. Like we're gonna actually grow these characters, and that's something like in My Hero too. Like you get flashbacks to like their earlier lives, especially in season 4. One of my favorite fight scenes happens, and when an anime can do that, it separates it from just being like a big dumb action movie. Sorry, Zack Snyder fans. Like it separates you from doing something like that, I think. And like that's something I like about Demon Slayer.
I was just gonna mention Demon Slayer too. That is so emotional. Some of these fight scenes where you just like want to cry because how intense it is.
I did cry. I cried in that scene in Demon Slayer. And listen, guys, I get my second vaccine shot next week, which is 2 weeks before the Demon Slayer movie comes out in North America. I've already bought tickets to go day 1. This is my return to the movie theater.
It's so lucky. I'm still waiting for it.
And it's awesome because the movie is actually part of the plot. Like the first season ends right before when the movie is gonna begin, which is like that never happens for anime movies. It's always just like
always
vacation.
Non-canon.
Exactly. So I'm excited for that too.
Yeah, that's those are what I'm watching. I just caught up on Attack on Titan. I'm all caught up to the end of the new season and My Hero now. So.
I'll be catching up on Mandalorian and WandaVision soon. Miles is going to give me the password to Disney Plus finally, so I'll be able to watch it and stuff. Look, I just got done watching the Monster Hunter movie, and I think it's probably my movie of the year.
Movie of the year?
Yikes! Get this man off the podcast.
I had so much dumb fun with it. I want Tony Jaa. I did this to
Bro, you did. Even Godzilla versus Kong.
I had to watch that.
See, I need to watch that next. That's on my list next.
I want Tony Jaa and Mila Jovovich to do a cop action flick because those fight scenes in Monster Hunter, them two fighting together. Whoever choreographed that did a fantastic job. I'm like, I want more of this. It's stupid popcorn fun, but I loved it. Right now, it literally is my movie of the year. I had so much fun. I enjoyed the fights. The monsters look good. They killed half the cast off 25 minutes in the movie. I'm like, that's typical. But I definitely enjoyed this movie. And LeRon, you're right. Watching this mug in 4K, wow,
Mm-hmm.
wow,
Mm-hmm.
it looks really good. Ron Perlman look a hot mess. Like, what is this He-Man wig on?
Ron Perlman
feel
always looks okay. Ron Perlman's been looking a hot mess in all his movies like the last 15 years. Like I think the last time he looked good in a movie where he was not wearing makeup was
Hellboy.
Pacific Rim.
Oh,
Listen,
Oh,
I fuck
yeah.
with some Pacific Rim. Okay.
Yeah, Pacific Rim. Yes.
Where's
Yeah,
my
I'm
props,
glad you
people?
I'm glad you enjoyed Monster Hunter though. Because I enjoyed the movie, but I'm a big Monster Hunter fan, so I had a lot of reservations going into it, and I was like, I had to talk myself up to where I was like, okay, I can't have any expectations about this. You know, the fact that it has Mila Jovovich is like, at least I'm going to be entertained. That's the one thing I said. You know, Paul W.S. Anderson. I know a lot of people hate him. You know,
Yo.
because you know six Resident Evil titles and stuff like that. But in my opinion, I trust him to run. I trust him to direct movies based off of video games better than some of the other people that we've had come out there before. And remember, this is the guy that gave
True.
us the original Mortal Kombat movie. So you know, and technically that Mortal Kombat movie is the movie that started it all as far as video game movies go. And Mortal Kombat was not a bad movie. So
it's
I have more trust in Paul W.S. Anderson than a lot of other moviegoers go because I guess everybody has like Resident Evil fatigue, and I get it. But I love the Resident Evil franchise too. But I'm glad you enjoyed it, Ed. Because I don't know. Sometimes I feel like you and I diverge on our opinions about movies. Like
Mhm.
you had a completely different take on Event Horizon than I did. I was trying to be
Did
serious. I was trying to be serious, and Ed found like comedy every 5 minutes in the movie.
but then I came and told you on after recording, I was like, okay, full cap on. Like, this is a must watch. Like, I love this. Thinking about it, I'm just like, when movies have goofy, dumb, fun stuff into it, you can laugh along, but you really pay attention to a lot of stuff, you end up enjoying it more. And I enjoyed this. Like, me, my beef lo mein had a good time watching this movie. Like, I loved it, and I can't wait till I watch the Snyder cut of the Justice League because I never seen the original one. I can't wait to watch a lot of movies that I miss because I don't have those services that I get to like really like put on my because I love watching movies on my Xbox. I would not deny that. Putting that headset on, watching it, hearing it, and it's just like it gives me a different experience. It's just and watching it and hearing this movie, I was just like, this is so good. Like, this is the movie theater experience that I like at home. So I had fun with it. I enjoyed it. I gave it a B plus. I think you also gave it a B, Laurent.
I gave it a B plus. I
Okay.
gave it a B plus. I think. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember. Like it's high up there.
Yeah, but like I said, I loved it. I'm sorry, Laurent. I mean, didn't mean to go that.
No. You good. You good. All right. So here, let me break into housekeeping real fast because we've just been rambling. We've just been rambling. All right. This is the Boss Rush podcast, the flagship show of the Boss Rush Network, where each and every week live on Twitch we come together with our friends from around the internet to talk about games and everything we love about them. Follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Network. And you can also email the show at bossrushnetwork@gmail.com and join the Boss Rush Network Discord. Remember, you can listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other podcast apps every Monday. And remember to leave us a nice review and a 5-star rating, if you please. You can catch everything from Boss Rush Network at bossrushgames.com. All right, so guys, we're gonna real quickly break into what we've been playing. Let's try and keep it short and sweet. As a matter of fact, I will start. I have only been playing Monster Hunter Rise. I'm not even playing freaking Teppen game on mobile right now because I need more time to play Monster Hunter.
He's got a problem.
Oh God! You know, I'm gonna say this. Like I've played every main Monster Hunter game that's come out since the first one came out in 2004. I played every main one, and in some of my playtime time clocks have gotten astronomical. Like all of them. Let me see. The first Monster Hunter, yeah, I hit over 1,000 hours. Monster Hunter 2, the one the import one, the original one, I can't say I put that much time into because it was in complete Japanese. Like the Monster Hunter 2 that Japan got, we never got in the States. So I can't say I maybe sunk like 300 hours in that one, and then every other game has had like crazy amounts of playtime and stuff like that. I'm also seeing this one also being another 999.99 playtime.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I've been playing. I'm still in the story mode. I've only done one guild hall quest, and that was last Saturday. I played with Galatrad when he did his 24-hour live stream of it.
Mm-hmm.
I did one quest, and I was like, okay, you guys are way too far up there for me, so I'm not gonna hold you guys back by having you guys come into 1-star missions for me because they're on high rank. So, excuse me. All of a sudden, I just started coughing for no reason. I'm sorry, but yeah. So I'm in story mode right now. Right now, I am on my Magna Malo Urgent. So that's where I'm at. As soon as this show is over, I am getting back on it so I can beat him.
Yes. I guess I'll go next. I finished Master Zero on Switch. This one is by Intai Creates, and this was originally created by Sunsoft. So I'm going to. They're getting ready for 3. Master Zero 3 since they announced it for Switch. So I'm gonna head into 2, finish that game up, and then go into 3.
You know what? I don't mean to interrupt you. I can't believe that the game that only came out on the NES wound up being revived, and now it's getting sequels. That's insane.
Well,
that game was only on the NES. I remember I had a black
Genesis, and I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember it coming to Sega Genesis. I thought it was only on Nintendo.
I think it may have been Mega Drive or somewhere. There's a Genesis version of it. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. Oh no, you're right, LeRon. I think it's been just doing well because these games they've been somewhat successful, and I guess this Inside Creates doing a lot of people just like it's an indie game. It looks good. It plays good. It has that Metroidvania kind of feel to, or not Metroidvania. It has that Metroid kind of feel to it. I guess people just like gravitated to it, and they did a great job for it. So,
that was a launch game too, wasn't it, Ed? Wasn't it on day one? So I bet you they found quite a bit of an audience just by putting it on the Switch platform when it came out. Because I remember I downloaded that game on day one.
Yeah, and I think the sequel came out in 19. I think 2 came out in 19. It may have. And people enjoyed that one. So getting ready for definitely for 3 and playing Monster Hunter, laughing along. Me and Grayson was talking about Tetranodon. He is the
Tetranodon?
Yeah,
I love him.
He's the Legend of Zelda versus Super Metroid boss fight. And I'm like, what is this nonsense? He picked up a turtle shell and threw it at me. And I'm like, what is going on? I love it.
Wait. He picked up a turtle shell? Like, hold on, because I know he'll pick up giant rocks out the ground. He's actually picking up other objects out the ground too.
One of the rocks that he picked up looked like a turtle shell, and he threw it at me. I'm like, what is this nonsense? Because he literally Super Mario Brothers 2 that much. Just picked it up from the ground, ran, and then threw it at me. And I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Okay, well, I'll put it like this, Ed. If he's picking up fossils out the ground and not just rocks, I think you might be taking too long to beat him, because I didn't know he could pull other things out the ground beside rocks.
Yeah,
me either.
I was hitting him like crazy. Like I had my weapons up. I was just fighting him, doing all I was doing, and he was just like picking the stuff up and running away. I'm like, this mug.
You know what? Maybe our urgent quest segment for next week's Hunters for Hire should be about Tetranodon.
But yeah, Monster Hunter Rises, I'm definitely enjoying it. And just finished Root Film that I'm getting a review for. I had to take some time off from writing it because I really want to do it justice. Since this is my first visual novel adventure game, I wanted to take time to get it right. But pretty much that's what I am playing. There's a lot of updates I had to do on Xbox. So when all of that stuff get done, I'll probably be jumping back into Cyberpunk because I want to see new update is for that and how it runs on Xbox.
Do you just like quick? Would you recommend that game, a Root film? Because I've been like checking, I've been like looking into it, but I haven't purchased it yet.
I say yes. It is a great one, yeah, and everything ties in well and stuff. It's like probably about 10 hours to get through if you try to play it straight. It's 7 cases. It has a little bit of Phoenix Wright stuff, but that's mostly when you get to you get clues and stuff, but you'll mostly do like finding out what's really going on around to the last chapter. So they do like 4 chapters, they do a solution, and then they do an epilogue, which will lead into the next one. So it's a really great game. It's just that I want to write it out and make sure that I do it justice. Because, like I said, this is my first review for a game like this. I really enjoyed it, and it looks really good. Surprisingly, it looks like a Atlas Persona game back in the day, but it's not. So just take that as it is. Yeah, but that's pretty much it, buddy.
You sold me on. As soon as you said Phoenix Wright, I'm all in. I love the Ace Attorney series so much.
You know what? I hope that gets a revival on like either like on whatever they want to call the virtual store is on the Switch, or if Capcom just drops a collection out for the Switch. I hope so, because I actually missed the entire bus for the entire Ace Attorney series. I hadn't played a single one. I own 2 different DSs.
Well, there's rumors that they may do the Apollo collection.
Justice.
Yeah, and they may do the one that was only released in Japan that never came here. Because I think it said a rumor was that it got rated in Australia. So if it happens, we may get those 2 more collections. Because the one in the Japanese one that never came out here, I never got to play. That's the one I want.
So. All right. We're gonna pivot to Grayson. What you been playing this week?
Just like, but yeah, Monster Hunter is pretty much that's legit the only video game I think I've played since that game came out.
Yeah.
Well, I actually got a review code for it, but I got it pretty late, like a day before. But yeah, pretty much got it when everyone else was playing it. And yeah, it's I think it's my favorite Monster Hunter game ever. I haven't played too many of them. I started with Freedom Unite. Actually played probably a couple dozen of hours of that.
Freedom Unite is actually the most popular Monster Hunter game in the series.
Yeah, I had a friend get me into that. I played Try, which is the one I really got into, like probably 100 hours or so. Really got into
just 100 hours. Like that's my game that has the least amount. Well, that's my game that has the second least amount of time played because I have problems with Try.
Yeah, it's I don't know. For me personally, I don't ever spend more than like a few hundred hours in a game unless it's like maybe like OG Pokemon I spent like a lot of time, but usually I just like don't want to spend that much time, or I just like jump onto something else. But yeah, I played Try a lot. I skipped the 3DS games really. Then I played a lot of World, and now Rise has just like really, I feel like given me what I've been wanting out of Monster Hunter. It just like feels so good to move. The bug wire mechanic is so much fun. I've already put in like 50 hours, I think, in the main game, and I played 40 hours of the demo, so that's already more than like my game time for some other games entirely. So it's been a lot of fun. And I also wanted to mention that last night I actually downloaded Fantasian, which is a new Apple Arcade JRPG that comes from Mistwalker, and I think it's led by the original creator of Final Fantasy. So I really like the art style, so I wanted to download it. I got a free trial of Apple Arcade again, just so I can check it out. And I played it for like 20 minutes last night before falling asleep. But so far I'm really digging the combat. The game is gorgeous, like it's visually stunning, I think. So I'm definitely gonna keep playing that. But if anyone like has any like Apple Arcade is such an awesome service. So I would recommend getting the free trial, or just like it's just $5 a month too. And there's so many other great games on that service already that aren't like, you know, nickel and diming you or have any microtransactions. These are like all full games. So like I would totally recommend downloading it and checking it out.
They really are pushing Apple Arcade, because just like a whole bunch of games dropped in. That's what you hear a lot of. Definitely with Platinum dropping their game. It's just like
that as well. Wow. They haven't been putting too many games recently. Like when they launched Apple Arcade, that was when, you know, like Sayonara Wild Hearts is incredible. Assemble with Care, Grindstone. a few other games. Like it's definitely worth paying that $5. And you could check out so many games in that amount of time. So
is this their first year anniversary? Is it close to its first year anniversary?
I think it came out
Apple Arcade.
Was it 2019? I think.
Yeah.
We're getting close to like a 2 or 3 year anniversary.
Is it a 2-3 year?
Yeah,
think it
because
was late
Sayonara
2019.
Wild Hearts has been out for almost 2 years now, and that was a day one title.
Yeah.
I love that game.
So yeah, that alone was I've replayed that game so many times. It's incredible. But yeah, just Monster Hunter pretty much. Sweet.
All right. Well, besides Destiny, Josh, what have you been playing this week?
I actually blew through Dishonored 2 this past week. I'd never played either of those games before the Bethesda deal was finished. So I've played through both Dishonored and Dishonored 2 in like the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I really love those games. Dishonored 2 quickly became one of my favorite design games ever, I think. Like, if you've never played it, I urge everyone who has never played this game to go watch a walkthrough of the level, the Clockwork Mansion, because that is the single greatest designed level I've ever seen in a video game. Whoever designed that level, give them a game director job at Arcane today. If they're still there, given.
I'm thinking of starting that game from all over because I got like maybe 1/3 of it and then just stopped playing it for some unknown reason. I think I'm gonna start it over because they said it got a lot of good reviews. A lot of people were hyped for it, but just no one gave it no.
Both of them were Game of the Year contenders. I just never played them because I'm like, I'm not a stealth guy, and like. It is harder to stealth in these games. Like the AI intentionally tries to trip you up on it.
Yeah.
But it's all about like being cautious and waiting. And I mean, you can do it stealthy or you can go non-stealthy. It's just the game is actually harder if you go non-stealth.
Oh yeah.
But it's a blast. It really is one of those like literally play it however you want. There's multiple paths to every objective. There's side objectives. I really like it. I may go do another playthrough of Dishonored 2. You have a choice of who you want to play as in that one, as opposed to the first one. I think I want to play as the other character and just go high chaos, like play it as a revenge thriller instead.
Is the story really good in it?
Yeah, the story is amazing. I was not excited about Deathloop after playing these two. If I can get a PS5 in time, Deathloop will be a day one game for me.
I was just about to ask you that question. Has your current playthrough of Dishonored actually sold you on Deathloop? But you answered it for me.
So I think conspiracy headphones are on. I think that Deathloop is set in the far future of the Dishonored world because more that I watch gameplay of that, it feels like they basically just looked at Dishonored, threw the chaos system out the window, and said, "Fuck it, high chaos" for an entire playthrough with guns, and then set it in the near future. Like they've already said if they were ever to do another Dishonored, it wouldn't feature the same characters. A Dishonored 3 would have to be in a different time period, different characters, different mechanics. So this is from the studio that did both of those games. This is from Arcane's branch in France.
Josh, are you doing the DLC? Because I think the DLC is on Game Pass.
So the DLC is in the complete edition for Dishonored 1, and I've not played those. The DLC for 2 was a standalone game, actually.
Yeah.
Death of the Outsider is not on Game Pass.
Oh, they didn't include it. Oh, I thought they did.
So the theory is that they're holding some of these games for a second wave of Bethesda titles this summer. Some of the more recent ones, like Doom 2016, isn't on there, for example. Some of the classic Quake games are, and like the rights for that series are just very strange.
Yeah, because
original Rage isn't there.
Yeah, because I bought the Dishonored 2 DLC like for Target for like $8. Like it was.
I've been told unless I can find it on sale, not to buy it. Just because it is a standalone, like it will eventually show up on Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah, check their clearance system if you.
I will. I mean, I've played so much Dishonored in the last couple weeks that I have no desire to do the DLC right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I have fatigue with that, like because they're linear levels, quote unquote, but they're so huge that it's almost like mini open worlds every time you go into a level in these games. Right. And Dishonored 2 like cranks that up to another unfathomable degree. That I have open world fatigue. Like I did Valhalla and Cyberpunk back to back. Took like a month and a half off, and then that's when I ended up in Dishonored. So I tried New Vegas right around the same time. So like, I'm done with open world games. Give me some linear stuff. I can't do this. I play a lot of Destiny as it is. But yeah, no, Dishonored. If you haven't played it, go play it. Every big Bethesda game just about is on Game Pass. So
I re-downloaded Dishonored 2 when it came back to Game Pass because it's funny because both of the games they got the announcement. This is before the deal, of course. We got the announcement on Game Pass that both the games were leaving, so I scrambled and downloaded them. So they wouldn't go away. So I wouldn't lose access to them once they were off the store and everything. And then the announcement comes out. The announcement comes out that the merger was happening. Well, the acquisition was happening, and then they both came back. But Dishonored 2 had the complete edition. And I was like, oh, okay. Let me re-download this.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't believe that's a franchise that, like, when we talked a few weeks ago, I was on here when the merger actually closed, and LeRon, I was saying that I feel that this is a great opportunity for some of these franchises that just didn't sell but were critically acclaimed to get another installment. I feel like Dishonored and Prey have to be at the top of Microsoft's wish list right now to do another game of, especially Dishonored. Like, I feel like another Dishonored is like almost a guarantee. We don't know what the Austin studio has been working on since Prey was finished. Like, they did a whole lot of post support for that game, but we don't know what they've been doing for 2-3 years now. My secret hope is that they had greenlit a Dishonored project in Austin. So, pass the mic to whoever's next.
All right, that'd be you, Mr. PlayStation Doctor. Please tell me you warmed up the PS Vita this week. Please tell me you warmed it up.
So I did get on the PS Vita store because I'm already looking at what I'm gonna have to buy before this thing closes down.
Vita Island, baby, we're sinking. We're sinking.
Yeah, we're dying out here. But I'm still, I basically I didn't play anything on the Vita because I am going pretty hard on the PS5. But I definitely wanted to look at the store, look at what I'm gonna have to buy. What am I gonna make my wife angry that I spent that much money on these games? All that together. So, but on PS5, I've been playing. I finished Control, and I liked it. I definitely like the story more than anything else. But I think like once I finished the story, I started unlocking all the extra like cool powers, and I was like, oh, this is where it started to get a lot cooler as far as the gameplay goes. But I did like the story. And then also the Ashtray Plaza level.
The Ashtray Maze.
Control. Yeah, Ashtray Maze. Yeah. That's what it was called.
So good.
Yeah, that level was
so cool.
So good.
So good.
I was like, I want the whole game to be this.
You know what? Yes, I felt that. I felt that when I played it on Xbox. I was just like,
I love that level. I was like, whoa, this came out of left field. Like, I'm all down for this.
I have been preaching about Remedy for the better part of a decade now, and I feel like when people hit the Ashtray Maze, like friends were just texting me and calling me. They were like, okay, now I understand. I was like, yeah, y'all need to go back. Y'all motherfuckers need to go play Max Payne. Y'all need to go play Alan Wake.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
Yeah, y'all can skip. You can skip Alan.
Yeah.
Can skip who? Can skip what?
Awesome. You can skip.
No. Whoa.
Ed's off the podcast.
Oh yeah. I'm cutting his feed right now.
Kick him out. Alan Wake is one of the great 360 games out here. No slander.
Yeah. I almost bought a whole Xbox just to play that in Mass Effect.
Considering Jeff Grubb also confirmed this week that Alan Wake 2 is in development at Remedy.
What?
Yeah.
What?
It's in development at Remedy. He says that that's one of the 2 games that Epic is publishing for Remedy.
That'd be so cool.
I think because I played Quantum Break and then went back to Alan Wake. It's
Look,
probably
get him out of here. Get this slander out.
Okay.
Right.
You know what? I can give it to you. I can give it to you, Ed, that you played Quantum Break first, but you played one of their more realized games. So you honestly are selling yourself short by saying that Alan Wake was just not good, because Alan Wake is the game that actually got people on to Remedy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can understand. I can understand. Alan Wake deserves the praise for people who liked it. I think for me it was just like,
Ooh,
I,
people who liked it. That was shade.
And
Woo!
it all went from like I love
Woo!
with Control, like the games went from being like loosely connected through Easter eggs to
mhm,
like actually existing in the same universe.
yeah, yeah,
All three of those exist, and that makes me so excited.
All
yeah,
right,
yeah. Because
all right,
I think
Austin.
I like Quantum Break more than Alan Wake. That's just me.
Austin, what
All right,
else?
Austin, keep
Went off the
going.
rails.
I'm sorry.
Well, I was
I heard
gonna
Remedy and I
try
had to
redirect it
talk.
to something a little less controversial. I am gonna get to a game that Ed does love. I'm playing that on Switch, but I
Oh
I
God,
just
you're
started
playing Paper
Maneater.
Mario. You're playing Paper Mario, aren't you?
Not Paper Mario. But I did start Maneater on PS5 as well. I started playing that this morning before we started the show. So I'm already loving it. I get to be a shark, and that is what all I've ever wanted. Even my wife was watching me play. She's like, "I know this voice." I was like, "Yes, you do. You do know this voice. It's Chris Parnell, and I love him." But then I'm playing Murder by Numbers on
Yeah.
Switch.
Yes, that's so good.
Yeah. I just finished the first case last night. I think there's only 4 on there, so I'm starting the second one. Or I started the second one late last night, but it was like 1 in the morning. I was like, man, I should probably go to bed.
It's so addicting, that Picross. It's just Picross, but it's like you can't stop. Like you just want to keep going and going.
It's the writing in that game that makes it. It's so good and so funny. And when people need to be shady, they will be shady. And I'm writing it just so top notch.
They all go at it after each other, and I love Scout. I love Scout so much already that I'm in for this game. And then that's all I'm playing on Switch. But then I'm also gonna play Narita Boy on Xbox because Xbox is just giving these indies. I mean, I played
Narita Boy is fantastic.
I haven't started it yet, but I really like. I wanted to play more 21 games this year, like really keep up, and Xbox making it easy for giving us indies like this. So I actually got to play Cyber Shadow, a game I probably wouldn't have bought till later, and now I'm gonna play Narita Boy, a game I probably wouldn't have bought till later. So I'm excited for it. So
it's getting mixed reviews. Like some people like it, some people don't. So I can't wait to hear more of you guys' impressions of it.
But that's all I'm playing, and then Call of Duty. But that's for anger management issues. That's just blow some steam and then get back out.
All right, cool. All right, well, I guess we can get to these news topics now. What'd you guys say?
Yes.
I feel like this is gonna be like real quick and easy because I really want to get to the video game 20Q today, and I've got a game for you guys, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I will
just say, LeRon, this MLB stuff has got me going. I wasn't on Crossroads this week.
Oh,
so
I'm jazzed to have this conversation.
we had a pre-conversation about it, so.
All right, well, I guess without further ado, then our first news topic: MLB The Show 21 is coming to Xbox Game Pass on day 1. I'm just gonna go ahead and real quickly just breeze over the information that came off of Xbox.com. So basically, we are delighted to announce that MLB The Show 21 is coming to Xbox Game Pass on day 1 and will be available on April 20th for Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One, as well as on Android phones and tablets via the Xbox Cloud Gaming, which is currently in beta for Ultimate members. Both MLB The Show 21, the Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S standard editions will be included with Game Pass, so members will be able to play the best version of the game regardless of which console they are on. And with cross-platform play in progress, you can play against others online and earn and use content across the platform and generation you choose. All right, guys. Austin, Josh, y'all said y'all ready to talk about this. You hit me.
So, first off, I thought this was a late April Fool's joke when I first saw it. because the first tweet I saw was from Aaron Greenberg over at Microsoft, and I was like, okay, this he's trolling us. This is all a joke. And then like the next 10 tweets I saw were all sorts of people from across the industry going, oh my god, I can't believe this is actually happening, and linking to the legit Xbox Wire post. Like MLB's talking about it, everybody, and I'm like, oh my god, like it was a big enough deal when we heard that was going to go multi-plat as a franchise, but for it to come to Game Pass day one and just to see the GIF that was circulating of the Xbox logo, the PlayStation logo, the Santa Monica studio, and then it goes into gameplay is just that's something I never in my wildest dreams thought I would see coupled with Xbox Game Pass. At this point between this and Outriders, there's no limit to what they can bring day one. There's no limit at all. All bets are off. They're swinging for the fences. Like if your games aren't ready, this is kind of the next best option. Like, and it's an edge that I feel Sony doesn't have. They don't have a subscription service like Game Pass. PlayStation Now is not remotely the same thing. But they're countering in their own way with PlayStation Plus, right? With giving PS5 upgrades, giving day one debuts of things like Destruction All Stars, even though it's their own game, and Bug Snacks. But to have Outriders and MLB there day one is just fucking bonkers. I
said I give it to Phil Spencer. He's really on it. Like when he announced this, that's when it all blew up. And I take Phil Spencer at his word. He's one of the greatest. I think he's one of the greatest things that's happened to the Xbox brand, getting it to where it's at.
Yeah,
and doing
absolutely.
It's indisputable. Without Phil Spencer, Xbox would not be a part of Microsoft anymore.
Yeah, and doing what he did, and he probably had some talks with people to get, or probably been talking to MLB. This is a big win for Xbox and people who have Game Pass. Like, I don't know if it's gonna get more subscribers to it. We'll see what happens when the day it releases, or if people are already doing it. But yeah, this is a good thing for people for the Xbox brand. My question, I think, was, would there be more players on Xbox, or will Sony get more sales, or would it just equal? Would it just equal out for everybody?
I don't know. I think that's an interesting question because I have a couple of friends who solely buy PlayStations, and I kid you not, purely to play the show.
Yeah,
They're not
same.
interested in Horizon. They're not interested in Uncharted or God of War or The Last of Us or anything like that. Like they'll play those games eventually. Like they'll get God of War when it's like $15 because oh my god, so many people told me I need to play this, but they like literally buy that because it's their machine for the show. Both of them who buy that have already told me I'm not buying one now. I'm simply going to subscribe to Game Pass. They're like, I've been holding out because I want to see the first party titles. They're like, it's now indisputable that I need to sign up because the 1-2 punch of this with Outriders. They're like, I was already going to buy both of these games. For the amount that I'd be paying for these games, though, I can sign up for a whole year of Game Pass.
Now that stuff like this is happening now, I really need to look into the breakdown of like the royalty system and the payout system for these games, because we're at a point now in gaming to where I thought I'd never see something like this. Like we've got Game Pass, we've got PlayStation Plus and the PlayStation Plus collection and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure Nintendo may eventually do their own like premium service that will have like stuff like this, what we're seeing with Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. I really need to take a look at the breakdown on how this stuff goes, because I just need to know how much money the companies make when they say, "Hey, so go ahead and publish our game on Game Pass." Even though, at the most, how much are people paying? The highest cost that people pay is what, like $18 a month for Game Pass. They're getting like the ultimate, right?
15 is the most.
15 is the most.
It's 15. Corey and I did a breakdown of this on Arsenal X a while back. If everybody's paying the maximum amount, which if you're paying the full $15, you're a fool. Like there are so many ways to get this cheaper. We averaged out if you're paying about $10 a month and it's 15 million subscribers, or we did it when it was still 15 before it went up to 18. At $10 a month for a full year, Microsoft is bringing in something like $2.3 billion in revenue.
Okay,
just off that alone.
And then what do we think trickle because of course I don't know who no one in their right mind should own a system. Like they should not be owning an Xbox and not having some part of Game Pass. They should not be owning a PlayStation and not have some part of PlayStation Plus.
Right.
I I can't. Nintendo Online is strong enough, so I can say that that's the one that you can probably get away with not having. Even
but
though
it's also only $20 a year. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So
I pay more for my Pokemon Home subscription.
People pay more than that in one night at Chinese takeout than they would a year.
It's one meal.
Look at what Game Pass has brought in the past 6. Once we get up, I'm going all the way out to the show. Okay, from the beginning of March to the show coming out, you have had Madden 21, NHL 21, NBA 2K21, the show. 20 Bethesda games, like major Bethesda games too, because we all know they don't make tiny games. So the Dishonored franchise, the whole Doom franchise, all the Elder Scrolls games, Skyrim is fucking on there now. Doom Eternal, got Prey. Then you've got Outriders, you've got Octopath Traveler, you've got, of course, a ton of indies that they put on. They put indies on there every month. 6 weeks, like that's more than I can play in an entire year, just right there. Like there is literally something for everybody at this point. There is a big enough chunk for everybody, even without first party games right now, to say this is worth investing in. Like I like playing sports games, but only for like 10 hours a year. Like I will only play 10 hours of Madden, and part of that's because I used to play that through EA Play. Now that the full game is going to come to Game Pass, I'm going to wait until February or March, whenever they put it up, and then do that. The only thing I'll continue to buy from EA is going to be, maybe a BioWare game if they can get back to classic BioWare, or like the Fallen Order sequel. Other than that, I'm waiting. I'm going to wait for Game Pass because of that deal, and it's like, so many developers have said, like, we haven't seen a decrease in sales. We've actually seen an uptick, because when the game goes to leave, people are like, oh, I don't want this game to leave. I've really enjoyed this. I want to go buy this. And so they impulsively buy it with that discount, or they're buying more DLCs. They're doing more microtransactions, because you get that 10% off of anything. So 10 to 25%. I think it varies on the game and on the microtransaction for anything on Game Pass. And that's without, if it goes on sale, like the spring sale, there's stuff on there. You get your gold discount, then you get an extra 10% because of Game Pass. Like it just keeps paying for itself, and we're still in the phase where you're growing that subscription base. So you're doing mega deals like Outriders and MLB. Like I think it was Jason Schreier said last year when the Bethesda deal was announced, this is how you go from 15 million to 30 million, is deals like Bethesda. And like I was saying a few weeks ago, I don't think that you go and you buy something like that and you don't make those franchises exclusive. You want people buying in that ecosystem, because eventually they're going to be like, okay, I'm getting enough value from these first-party games. Why spend the equivalent of 2 or 3 first-party games a year just on those games when I can get all of those games and more? I can get all these killer indies. We saw 20 games at that showcase last week that are going to come day one to Game Pass. Like, at a certain point, this is going to taper off. At a certain point, there will be a price increase. And I strongly suspect that deals like Outriders and MLB will not continue to happen once the first-party machine is in full swing.
Yeah.
Once you've got those games coming from Bethesda and Ninja Theory, Obsidian, like that's not going to happen anymore.
And I think sometimes you kind of have to factor in what genre of games that's on Game Pass. If there's a lot of games that's on a certain genre that suits your needs and everything, it's a great thing to go and get.
Ed, you were saying this before we started. Like, for example, like all the JRPGs you've played, you have all the Yakuza games, you've played the Final Fantasies, you played Octopath Traveler, but that's like those with the Kingdom Hearts, for example. That's an amazing suite of JRPGs, an area where Xbox is just
lacking.
They're bad at appealing to that, because that's something that Sony has always cultivated so well. Well, sure, these games are coming later, but this is now a bonus to people already on there.
And I think that's why I think when people who have already owned those games, when they see it on Game Pass, they get excited and they be like, hey, all you Game Pass members, if you got it, give these games a try to see why we love them, why we went out and purchased them when they first came out. Like, I encourage people who got an Xbox and don't got no other system, definitely get Game Pass and play all of these games and stuff, because it's good value.
Yeah, I've noticed with Game Pass is Phil Spencer tends to go after things that they don't have in the pipeline. So, for example, they're not going to go after a ton of Western RPGs now, because they own so many studios that are going to churn those out. They literally own the best companies for Western RPGs, not named CD Projekt Red right now. Like, they are doubling and quadrupling down even on the things they do good, which is online multiplayer, shooters, like, so playing with your friends, those kind of go in tandem, I think. Like when you factor in Forza and Gears and Halo and all those, the Destiny deal, and then your Western RPGs. So that leaves them open to go and acquire sports games, to go and do the EA deal, to go and do, God, what was I gonna say? Like all the indies. Like ID at Xbox has quietly been one of their best things they've done in the last generation, because they were so indie focused in the 360. They sucked at it at the Xbox One launch and went back to the drawing board. You see so many of those launching straight into Game Pass now. At a certain point, again, like it just keeps coming back to like it's gonna taper off. I'm gonna enjoy it while the getting's good though. And the fact that you're gonna tell me I can go play one of the only games I would probably perennially buy on a PlayStation, I can now get that as part of my Game Pass sub, even if it's only on there for 6 months, like a lot of these sports games. Like 2K comes for 6 months. 6 months is enough time for me to enjoy MLB. I don't have to wait 6 months to try this game out. I get it on day one. That's unheard of. Like they pretty clearly went to MLB and said, "Hey, we want to do this. Here's a sack. Here, how many Brinks trucks do you want me to back up?" We'll back up to the loading dock. Like how they went to Rod Manfred's house and said, "How much do you want? We'll drive the trucks over personally." This was the Jade Raymond money that we were going to give her, but she went somewhere else. So we're going to give it to you now.
Yeah, and I think it only would be like 6 months for MLB The Show, which then will allow Game Pass players before it goes off, here's the option to buy it, or you can go buy it at the store and PlayStation.
Wait, are you addressing? Are you addressing the question we had in the chat?
Oh no, I didn't.
Okay, because Retrovaniacs in the chat asked, does it seem likely they'll keep MLB on Game Pass for a good length of time, or do you think it'll be more temporary than most of the Game Pass titles? I feel like not to cut you off. I'm sorry. I feel like it might be good for the baseball season. So it'll run for the duration of the baseball season, or it might stretch itself out until MLB The Show 22 is announced or comes out and things like that. That's my opinion though.
I think it's gonna go so 2K usually comes for about 6 months. They take it off just before the next 2K. Mm-hmm. But since this is coming day one, I do think that you have it right on the money. I think this will probably stay on until about Christmas. Mm-hmm. I think it's a 2-year deal. I think you'll probably see the show 22 next year, because MLB has been searching for, not to go on a sports tangent, they've been searching for a way for years to get young people interested in baseball.
Yeah.
And if you're appealing to, like, let's be honest, like a lot of teenagers, a lot of college students play video games. You're putting that on Game Pass that so many of these are subscribing to, and they're going to be like, "Oh, I already play Madden with my friends. Oh, well, what's this baseball thing? Like, oh my God, we actually have a good baseball game on Xbox for the first time ever."
Yeah, for real.
Real. And I think a lot of players know about MLB, but because it's been on Sony's platform for so long, they only accumulate a little bit of that franchise for players and stuff. So now this gets to expand to anyone who loves the baseball and now have more options to play, because
that's what I'm saying. Like baseball is a sport I go see with my old man. We have a couple of really flat beers and we go home. Like it's not necessarily a great time. Baseball is like kind of boring to watch unless you're with, friends. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people who go to baseball games, at least here in Texas, probably because we're so god awful, are, in their, 40s or 50s. Like there's not a whole bunch of, mid 20s people going to baseball games these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually, and if they are, it's like an event.
$1 hot dog night, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I go and buy like 5 hot dogs, shove them in my backpack, and then eat them over the week. Because
I'm that guy.
I'm that man.
I'm that guy when it comes to baseball. I'd rather go to the game in person than watch it on television.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like this is, to me, it's a slam dunk. Sony probably had to. I don't know if they had to approve of it necessarily. They were more likely told by MLB, "You're doing this," and like begrudgingly kind of had to accept it. But like I think it was Greg Miller tweeted yesterday, and I know like it was attached to a video. He went in on it in depth more, but he says, "This is it's a slam dunk for Game Pass. It looks amazing for Game Pass, and this is really bad optics for PlayStation and PlayStation Plus." And I don't agree with that like knee-jerk assessment, because Sony could have chosen to put this on PS Plus, but why on earth would they, when that's a guaranteed 6-7 million games they're going to sell? Why on earth would you put that? Like. Mm-hmm. They're probably more frustrated than anything that this is on Game Pass. but that's the price of being able to keep that deal. That's the price of being able to keep that franchise to San Diego studio. And why wouldn't you? That guaranteed revenue every single year. You don't have to change a whole lot, but it's the best sports sim by a mile on the market. Like, nothing else comes close to it. Madden is not close. FIFA's not. NBA was until they became a commercial, essentially. Yeah. And at a certain point, you have to think about like the return on investment. Like, they're probably looking at this going, I hope a lot of people buy microtransactions. They probably still got some of the cash out of this deal. Or maybe they solicited something from Microsoft. Maybe a certain Blind Forest will start appearing on PlayStation. Who knows? But
honestly, I think this was a wonderful move, because there was definitely a desert, for more sports titles besides basketball and football on other consoles, and nobody's been doing anything baseball, so I think this is a slam dunk for Sony and San Diego Studios. I definitely believe this is a slam dunk for just gamers out there that want more sports games out there, and this is for sure like the most ginormous slam dunk for Microsoft. Microsoft needed a big grab like this, and I'm saying grab like it's like like they were hungry for something. No, they needed something that would actually bring attention to Game Pass and actually bring more people to say, hey, I think I'm going to pick up an Xbox, or I think I'm going to subscribe.
This is keeping Game Pass in the conversation. Like, we all had this talk when the Bethesda acquisition was finalized and went, oh my God, look at all these games. And now that it's been like 2-3 weeks, we were kind of like fading for that conversation. It was like, oh my God, Outriders is coming. The same day Outriders launches, here, we're gonna punch you in the face again with another big game coming. Like,
with a huge announcement.
I'd rather see deals like this or like a game debuting on PS Plus than third-party exclusivity any day of the week.
Yeah. So Austin, Grayson, you guys had anything to add to this before we move on?
Go ahead, Grayson.
I'm not like a big sports guy, but like, this is honestly like a big win for Microsoft and Game Pass. I don't have an Xbox myself, and I don't plan on purchasing one soon, but I still can't deny that Game Pass is honestly the best deal in gaming we've ever seen. I know people say that over and over again, but it's true. Like, if you own an Xbox or even just a PC, you're wasting money at this point if you do not have Game Pass. Like, I feel like I'm wasting money somehow just not having Game Pass, and I don't even have a console.
It's funny, like you said, like, you don't even have to have a console anymore. That's the most batshit crazy part of this. Like,
you use your smartphone on your tablet now.
Coming to mobile.
Yeah, you can use your smartphone on your tablet.
Yeah,
exactly. That's true. And we were talking about how, like, would this affect the sales of the PlayStation versions? I think there's a massive audience out there there are people who only play sports games on their consoles. Yeah. They don't know what Game Pass is. They don't know that this game is coming to Game Pass unless they're like in the know, like us, So I think there'll still be a ton of people that are going to go out and buy this game full price for their PS5 or for their PS4 without knowing at all that it's on Game Pass. So while the sales might diminish, a little bit, I don't think it'll like affect it too much.
Yeah.
Because you have those sports aficionados that, they buy 2K every single year and they don't know about anything going on in the industry like us. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It's a big win for Xbox. I think it's just, I don't think it's really a bad look on Sony that they don't have MLB The Show on their subscription. It's a bad look on Sony that their subscription isn't getting exciting as much excitement as Xbox Game Pass is.
Yeah.
So
they don't have something to kind of compete with that. That's the issue.
I kind of had this conversation the other day with a friend, and he was like, "Oh my God, like, I can't believe how much better of a value Game Pass is than PlayStation PS Plus." Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I get Plus and Now confused sometimes. And I was like, well, Sony and Microsoft are playing two very different games right now.
Yeah.
Like, I think PS Plus is honestly probably the best value it's ever been right now, which is crazy when you think, especially if you have a PS5. Like, the PS Plus collection, I kind of wish there was something like that for Xbox Live Gold members. Like, give me like 10 to 15 first-party curated games that I can play on there. Give me Master Chief Collection, Gears 5, Forza. Give me those games on there as part of a Gold membership. And, like, some smaller things like Ori, do away with the dilapidated corpse of games with gold and give me something like PlayStation Plus has. Right. I would love to get Bug Snacks for free. I'm a huge Oddworld fan. Like Soulstorm being free on PS Plus is just like music to my soul. It's the Mike Wazowski gif for me. Like that's exactly what I want to see in life right now. Like Control was on there. Like PS Plus is being curated specifically for me, it feels. And at the same time, I'm like, that's only $50. Like 1 month is paying for PS Plus. Like if you get 3 killer games, even in like over a couple of months, it's paid for itself. The downside is, of course, like games is going, well, you have to keep that subscription going. Like Game Pass, you have to keep the sub going. It's 2 different games, and I don't know if Sony is ever going to wade in, at least right now, if they're going to wade into a subscription service. I definitely don't think it's this year. It may be next year, but they know, like, people were not paying for Microsoft exclusives. Okay, part of that's because the whole look, this is how you trade games. Adam Boyes deserved to be in Shuhei's job just for that video. Okay, like low key, he deserved it. Just like I think that Aaron may deserve a promotion over these Xbox mini fridges, but like there's little things like that, and that can affect you for an entire generation. Game Pass is the X factor for this one, I think. Like, I see people touting, like, oh, well, PlayStation 5 is still outselling it. Like, neither of these have any exclusives, though. Like, we have Demon Souls, Destruction All-Stars, and The Medium as our exclusives right now.
Yeah,
like,
and
one of those is worth playing.
And they're both at a stagnant place right now because they're not neither one of them are selling at their full potential right now. So
they're not,
while that's happening, I think Games Pass is generating that excitement, that hype that people need to. All right, they're both available now. Which one am I go with? Well, I can get Games Pass here. I think PlayStation has to have some kind of, whether it's PS Now or not. PS Now is not streaming games is not there yet, but they need to have some kind of form of hype to build up, because I think PS5 is just riding off PS4 success right now.
Right now, I think it is.
Cool. Oddworld's cool. Bugsnax is cool, but those are very niche in the games. People that are into games. Whereas Bethesda is huge. MLB is huge, and that's kind of my only issue with Sony is I love it for Xbox, but for Sony it's just like, come on guys. And I really hope that MLB does not overstep with Sony San Diego, because we do not want anyone else making an MLB game.
No,
because they have no competition and they give us their best. Madden has no competition and EA gives us just dog shit.
Garbage.
That's why I think that I think it's a 2-year deal. I don't think this was a 1-year deal that was made. I think it's 2 to get people excited, to introduce it to them on this ecosystem where they haven't had an MLB game in like a decade, basically. We've had RBI baseball. That's the best we've had on Xbox. Like, and let me tell you, when a game is scoring a 3 out of 10, it barely qualifies as a game. That's like Shrek 2 on Xbox levels of bad.
Wow.
Okay, like there's going to be a Baskin Robbins tie-in for this at some point, and it's just you hit these really, really, really bad instances, and I think like Sony is figuring this out, right? They are holding steady, knowing the production timelines are fucked for both of us right now. For consoles, for games, like, we're lucky that we are planning to have 3 titles out this year right now. That may be 2 more than Microsoft at this point. Like, Microsoft has Flight Sim, Psychonauts, and Halo planned for this year. And let me tell you, 2 of those are not selling consoles. Okay? One of those I can play on literally any platform known to man. So at what point? Sony's not, I don't think they're panicking yet. I think that if Game Pass continues growing, or Microsoft comes out and absolutely kills it this summer, they're going to have to start trying again. And we saw this with the 360. Microsoft stopped caring at the end of the 360 era. Sony stopped caring at the end of the PS2. How bad was that PS3 launch? How bad was the Xbox One launch? Now it's PS5 and Xbox Series X both seem to have killer lineups for the next 18 months if they could just get these games out. Buying the exclusivity for Forspoken and for Final Fantasy 16 is huge. That's huge. But how long does that deal go for? Like, I know that those are going to be mega sellers. Like, I think Forspoken is going to be really big here in the West, but Like Final Fantasy, at the end of the day, that's a much bigger game in Japan, I think. PS5 isn't selling spectacularly in Japan right now. It's all Switch all the time over there. They are really, really trying to cater that game, I think, to a Western audience, which the Sony's learning how they have to shift their business model too. And I think part of this is that growing pain, whereas Microsoft is just like, we don't care about selling a plastic box anymore. We want you to have that subscription. We want that constant money coming in. If you happen to buy a box from us, or you happen to buy software or microtransactions or DLCs, cool, go for it. I have already, like I said this before, I bought microtransactions. I bought Forza DLC because I've enjoyed Forza Horizon for a year and a half, 2 years on Game Pass now. I play it every month for at least a day or two. I went out and bought DLCs. I bought the VIP pass. I've never done that in a racing game. Who am I? But I needed those Lego racers. So like that's the trap they get you into, and I'm excited to see how PlayStation counters this eventually, whether it's in response to the show going to Xbox or it's just the onslaught of Game Pass and acquisitions. Competition breeds excellence.
That is true. That is true.
We just went an entire generation without any sort of competition, and it made, I think, all of us as an industry really complacent.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, on Crossroads, Austin and I and our other co-host Nelly, we were talking about how like Sony's not in trouble yet. They're not in hot water yet, but I hope we hope they are, and we believe they've been taking notes these last. I'm gonna say the last year and a half. We have to think so, because the one thing Sony did was they definitely concentrated on trying to make the PS5 as successful as the PS4 at launch, and also maintain its sustainability through its life cycle, because Sony's already wrapping up production on PS4s. Like it's getting harder and harder to find certain PS4 systems on the stores because they're not making them anymore. And
a lot of stores don't have them. You just can't find them.
Yep. All right. So to wrap this up, MLB The Show 21 is available for pre-order now for the Microsoft Store, if you're interested in that. But it's also available for pre-order right now, any place that you may want to play this game at. I believe, are the Nintendo Switch is the Nintendo Switch version ready for pre-order as well? Can you pre-order that right now?
No,
okay.
We're not getting it this year.
Okay. All right. Or your local
By
retailers.
The way, it's a bummer. It's a bummer.
I know. I really would have liked this game to come out and launch on the Switch. You know.
Can I say that like Nintendo got a whole bunch of stuff already ready to go, so this game would just get overlooked. You know, I think it deserves to be on PlayStation and Microsoft, because there is a bigger fan base. Nintendo just got so much coming for it. This game would have got forgotten.
No, this game will not get forgotten. Trust me. Okay, given the problematic nature of sports titles on the Switch, I think people are going to give it a better shot than most critics are going to give it.
I would be buying it for the novelty of having a PlayStation game on the Switch. In all honesty.
Well, there's also that too.
I mean, I think it's one of the Bethesda things, even like with like Doom, that they want to see how good or bad it runs on Switch. So that's why people will buy it. So it's a curious thing with it. Oh, go ahead, Austin.
Well, I'll just say that MLB The Show sold hundreds of thousands of copies on Vita. They're going to do fine on Switch.
Yeah.
And the Vita port isn't bad. Like, it's actually decent. So the Switch,
I played the demo.
I'm not worried about the Switch handling that game.
I played one of the demos on the Vita for one of the MLBs that came out on that, and it was very impressive.
And the Vita port, they also do the season, they do franchise mode, they do my player mode, all the stuff that you're not going to see with FIFA and NBA and all the stuff that you're getting on the other one. So I believe it'll be on the Switch.
Yeah. I mean, it'll come to Switch, but I don't think, like Josh said, it'll come this year. Like I said, just right now, so much is coming out for Nintendo that, you know, people might just forget, might not think about it because it's going to be on Game Pass and PlayStation. People are going to put their focus right there on it. I think next year, if it's all three, then they'll be good to go.
All right, so we're gonna move on to our next topic. This one's probably gonna be a little more lighthearted than the last topic we were just on. All right, so Knockout City, you know that game that EA's trying to like pimp really hard. Knockout City crossplay open beta will be running from April 2nd to April 4th, and you can preload it now on whatever platform you plan to play it on. And I say that because crossplay for this game is going to be across every system. So PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC via Origin, Steam, and they also got on Epic Game Store. Plus, the PS5 and the Xbox Series S will also have backwards compatibility for this game.
Okay, it was weird because it showed up on Switch. I think Tuesday or Wednesday out of nowhere that you could pre-download. Like EA didn't say anything about it. It's just like it was on the eShop. I'm like, what is this? I thought I could.
So someone flubbed over at Nintendo is what you're saying?
No, I
somebody's uncle messed up.
No, I wonder if the preload for this beta was also on Xbox and PlayStation when it hit Switch, when it's like Tuesday or Wednesday, because people saw it. We was talking about it like, oh, everybody could download it, but no one could play it. So we didn't know what EA was doing with it and stuff. Because I still had it on my Switch. So yeah, I just got to play it and give it a try. But this is cool. I want to see how it is. I don't know. Some people, they've been enjoying it so far.
All right, so it runs from April the 2nd to the 4th. The beta will support crossplay and cross progression across all 9 of those platforms, giving friends a chance to play together and get into the action ahead of the game's launch on May the 21st. Knockout City brings intense battles to players as they master the art of throwing, catching, passing, and dodging in a highly competitive experience, with joyful surprises popping up around every corner. In the crossplay beta, players will have access to everything they love from the first beta, which is the moon, cage, and bomb balls, the concussion yard, rooftop rumble, and knockout roundabout locations, and the Team KO playlist, with even more new content coming to it. This weekend, because it's actually running right now, like we're on the second day of it now, so hurry up and get there if you're trying to play it. This weekend we'll introduce the new Sniper Ball, Back Alley Brawl, the map, 1v1 face-off, and a Diamond Dash playlist, and fresh style options. I don't really know what that's about because I wasn't planning on checking the game out itself. Have any of you guys actually started on I didn't even know there was another beta. I thought this was the first beta.
Clarification for this. Did you say the phrase Sniper Ball?
Sniper Ball, yeah, Sniper Ball.
This game looks so bad.
It's Rocket Arena with dodgeball.
Dude, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Rocket Arena had like a I don't know, like I was going to say some ridiculous number, but it's nice to know this game's going to be on every platform under the sun. It might go from like 100 players to 200. But I don't know a single person who actually has watched this, and I swear to God, if you end up being this person who has watched this and gone, this looks fun, I want to play this.
I wrote a blog about it.
God damn it, Ed.
But I wrote a blog about the 5 new IPs that they showed for the Direct, and this was part of it.
Why would you do this to me?
Because I think this is something we talked about EA supporting Nintendo, and I just want to see. I'm like, oh, this is a new IP for Nintendo, so I'm willing to give it a try.
Support them with good IP.
But I'm willing to give it a try to see if it's going to be good or not. I can't just judge it by looking at the graphics and stuff. I want to be able to give this game a fair shake before I make my final judgment for it. To answer your question,
hold on. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Answer my question. Answer my question.
I think when they showed it, I think Steam had the beta. And I think that was the first one. I think it was on the PC, a PC beta, and now it's just coming out for everybody. So this is why this is the second one for it. Because some people were streaming it. I think some people were streaming it after they announced it on the Switch, but it was only for PC.
Okay, so all right, so here's what I was getting ready to ask you. How is it you're able to support this game when you immediately wrote off a game like It Takes Two, which apparently is selling like gangbusters right now?
So I wrote off It Takes Two because of the developer, of that person. I didn't say anything about the game. I'm not saying that the game is bad or anything. I'm just not going to support it because of him. I've already said.
What did Joseph Fares do? What did he do?
It was the way that he acted at the Game Awards, and I felt
That's
that was
hilarious.
Wait. Hold on. No. I'm pausing for a second because I need. Which Game Awards was this? Because I watched last year's Game Awards and I don't remember him.
this was I think 2018 or something when he came up and did the middle finger to it. He was just acting all wild. I know he was hyped and people loved it
That's
and
a fuck
stuff.
the Oscars speech. That whole
Yeah,
thing.
it was just kind of like this is very
See, I don't
unprofessional.
see. I
Well,
don't.
it's
I
not
don't pay.
professional, but it's
I don't.
hilarious.
I don't pay attention to the Game Awards
I
because I have personal feelings about the Game Awards, so
uh,
I know I missed that because
so
I would have remembered that from this year's Game Awards if I had
no,
seen it.
it wasn't for this year. I think it was
It was
before
like 2-3 years ago.
It was when
for,
A Way Out came out. It was
yeah,
that
yeah,
yeah
yeah.
before that
2018.
came
He
out
was
and
there to support his
and it's just
Which
I'm
A Way
like
Out, by the way, is a very a wonderful game, by the way.
and it just felt like this was just so unprofessional to me and everything. And I understand that you are hyped, you're excited, but there was a certain way. And the way that he came off to me, he just came off annoying, and it was just like this is something that I can't respect or grab onto. So I
Okay,
felt like
that's okay. I can respect that.
for
I just
right, and I don't have nothing against his games. I just don't not, I'm not going to support his games because of him.
It's fair.
And
yeah,
that
yeah,
was the
okay.
only, and that was
I,
the only thing that I have said about it.
okay. I mean, because remember we talked about It Takes Two, Austin. That was on the State of Play, right? Because all three of us did the
Yeah.
reaction show, right? And
Yeah.
I remember Ed had a visceral reaction with that game. So I was just trying to get into perspective, like how are you able? Because like Knockout City kind of gave me a visceral reaction when I saw it. I was like, ooh,
When we
like
started,
people
when
are
we
gonna play that.
when we started at the Game Awards, I had that reaction because of him. And I knew that he was doing It Takes Two. Like I said, I have nothing against the game. The game
You know,
and all the people who made it, they need all the support. People love it. It's probably gonna be getting Game Award nominations, and that's all fine and dandy. But because of him as the developer making it and the way that he acted, I wasn't.
I respect anyone. I respect anyone that disrupts the system. I do. And Yosef Fares, he's doing his due diligence to disrupt the system, and it's good because it's actually making people take note of it. Like the guy's buzzworthy, because of this stuff
Yeah.
and things like that. But we're not talking about him. We're talking about Knockout City.
Yeah, but Knockout City, I want to play the beta to see what it's all about and everything, and make my own judgment if I'm going to buy it or not. I just want to play something, and like I said, if I'm going to write a blog about EA and Nintendo stopping their business, but if this is a step that they should continue their business, I need to see what it's all about.
I swear it's funny. Like it's like something spying on me because we invoke Yosef Fares' name and all of a sudden like a blip comes across my screen saying that he says most single player games last a bit too long and focus on replayability. It's funny how things happen on the internet these days. All right. So what's our overall take on this? Okay, well, Ed, I'm gonna ask this question to you specifically because you are the impresario of Nintendo Power Block for Boss Rush Games. What type of presence do you think Knockout City is going to have on Nintendo and Nintendo Switch? What do you think this is going to be a game that's actually going to first of all, is it going to open the doors for more EA games on Nintendo?
Yes, it actually will. Yes.
Okay. You haven't actually played Knockout City yet, though, right?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't get a chance. I didn't know that the beta was live. I was waiting for it, and it just skipped my mind. So now I know that it's live. I'm going to try when I get off of work, and I'm gonna play it a little bit on Sunday.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a fair shot and everything.
If you have a chance, talk about it on Power Block this Monday night.
I will.
If you have a chance. Okay.
I will.
All right. Austin. Is this going to have the it factor for EA to finally get its presence really felt on Nintendo? Considering that, like EA's other outings on Nintendo Switch so far have been pretty dismal. I mean, we're not even going to talk about the copy paste job that they do with FIFA every year.
I don't think so. I don't see this being anything that big even on Switch because Switch already has games like this on there. I mean, you got your Splatoon. Which is already directed towards the kids multiplayer. You got
Ninjala.
Ninjala I was going to mention that. Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's too much competition already on there. I'm not personally excited about this game at all. I was going to give it a shot, except the beta's this weekend, which is a holiday weekend, and it's too busy. So I'm probably not gonna have time to do it. But I just think there's too much competition for Nintendo Switch. I mean, if it's gonna succeed anywhere, it's gonna be Switch, and maybe that's what gives EA the green light to say, "Hey, we have an audience. We can put games on here." But if that doesn't work, I mean, I'm not gonna read too much into it because I don't think it's gonna really work anywhere. Just because Rocket Arena, that's all I see with this game. It's just,
God.
Grayson, is this is this a safe bet for EA on Nintendo Switch? Is this a safe bet for them?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I agree with Austin pretty much what he said. I just don't think this is the game to judge whether they're going to bring more games on. I don't think it's gonna find success. That being said, I did play a lot of Ninjala, not a lot, but like I reviewed it when I was last year, and I played probably a dozen hours of it, and I enjoyed what I played. It's just not something that I wanted to keep going back to. It was like a one and done experience for me. Mm-hmm. And I think Ninjala also drew in a larger audience because it was free to play, and this game isn't free, right? You have to purchase. I think it's like not a full price game, but it's probably like $20-$30, I'm assuming. I don't know. It looks a lot like Ninjala. I like the aesthetic, like the cartoony visuals, how it doesn't take itself seriously. That being said, I don't know if I'm gonna play it or not. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like there's just so many other games like it already, and it just doesn't seem like it's doing anything that new or inventive. If it was free to play, I feel like I would jump in and check it out. But I might try the demo, the beta, and see what's up. But yeah, I don't think this is gonna cause EA to bring more games to the platform.
Right, and they already said they got like 7 games coming to Switch. So I this may be one of them. I don't know. I think they got like 2 or 3 more planned for Switch. But I just don't know what it is yet.
All right, Josh.
I mean, y'all already know.
Go ahead, Austin, before I let Josh have the final word.
I was gonna say, if you want a good dodgeball game on a Nintendo console, play the Chicken Little Game Boy Advance game. There's a mini game dodgeball game. It's actually the best dodgeball game I've ever played.
So much.
I was gonna say Mario Sports Mix actually had really good dodgeball.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Really fun.
All right. Final word, Josh. Go.
This looks abysmal. This looks terrible. If this is what
did you really look up the Chicken Little dodgeball game?
No, I did not yet. I'm talking about Knockout City. This looks bad. I think Grayson really hit it on the nail. Him and Austin did nail on the head when they said that there are other games like this already, namely Splatoon. Why would I play this when I can just fire up Splatoon 2 with my friends?
Yeah.
If it's going to succeed anywhere, it's going to be on Switch. But this feels like a Rocket Arena move where they launched Rocket Arena at full price, mind you. They launched that sucker at like $50, and within 2 weeks it was, I think, free to play. This feels like a game that should have been free to play right off the bat. You might have had a little bit more success, but it doesn't do anything like truly inventive. Like, I don't think this is particularly a cool concept. I feel really bad for the developers because I've railed on this game a fair amount of times now since it was shown. But I feel the same way about this as I did about Rocket Arena and Hyperscape last year. It feels like we're desperately trying to put out multiplayer experiences that are different than what we normally do, rather than actually allocating resources towards making our existing properties like Battlefield and Madden better and more inventive. We are just gonna churn this crap out and then go, well, they didn't succeed, so we have to close the studio now. And that's I think that's my
and that's the that's the terrible in some of this whole thing, I feel like this is giving another reason for like EA to like cut, trim the fat,
Yeah. This just screams like an EA. I know that he doesn't run EA, but this is like a Bobby Kotick go-to move, right? Like, and then go, well, nobody played this, nobody bought it, so I'm gonna fire 150 people. I'm gonna close down a studio, and I'm gonna take a $40 million bonus.
Yeah,
that's what this screams. So Andrew Wilson, I hope you don't take a bonus when you have to inevitably stop production on this game.
Well, spoiler alert. He probably will.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. He absolutely will. Listen, I'm once again asking the board of directors to give Vince Zampella the keys to EA.
Is that your Bernie Sanders meme going? I'm
That's
once
right,
again
that's
asking.
absolutely. I'm not. It's no longer a quest. Deliver me the Batman by midnight. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now.
Well, there you have it. As you can tell over here at Boss Rush Games, we have mixed feelings about Knockout City. So let's just see what happens. I'm gonna keep an eye on. I'm currently playing Monster Hunter, but I'll keep an eye on this beta. Like I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna try it, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Like EA might be trying to swing for the fences here, and we're just not seeing something.
Yeah, that might be the struggle with the betas that everybody's playing Monster Hunter at the moment.
Josh is having
swinging for the fences, all right. But they're about to right now.
Josh is having too much fun with this. All right, well, that's all of our news topics. So, hey, who wants to play a quick game of video game 20 questions?
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, so Corey started this on the Boss Rush podcast. Basically, how it goes is I am thinking of one game right now. You guys have 19 questions that you can ask me, and then your 20th question is actually going to be your guess for the title. So my best advice to you is to make sure that your questions are kind of specific or is broad enough to a point where it helps you pinpoint what the title is, because I already have my title in my brain, and I will give you answers based on what your questions are. So you guys have 20 questions. Yeah, you guys have 19 questions as of right now. And I will be nice to you guys. Somewhere around question 16 or 17, if it looks like you guys are floundering, I will give you a hint.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
What's this?
And somebody should have pen and paper ready to take notes and also to keep track of how many questions you've asked, because I may or may not help you out if you get to like question number 19 and you don't know you're on the 19th question.
Okay. So, was this game released before the 2000s?
Was this game released before the 2000s? This particular game was not released. Well, it was released after 2000.
Okay.
Do you play as a human?
As a matter of fact, this game's cast of characters has no humans.
Okay.
Was this game multi-platform?
No.
Oh, so it was an exclusive something.
It was an exclusive, yes.
We should try to nail that down.
Is it a PlayStation exclusive?
It is a PlayStation exclusive.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's good.
was this first party?
First party, as in Sony, Microsoft published. Sony published.
Sony published.
Yeah, it is not first party.
Okay, so a third party developer, or it could be in no.
Or second party.
That's exclusive, though.
Yeah, third party would be more exclusive.
You know what? Actually, for the sake of it, I'm going to say it is an exclusive. It did have an eventual PC release, but only in Japan.
Okay. Well,
that's a lot of information.
Yeah. But let me tell you, we really know games specifically that only come out on PC in Japan from the 2000s.
So it's an exclusive platform.
Mm-hmm.
Released before 2000. I mean, we released after the 2000s, so it could be 2000 to 2000 now.
Is this a PS3 game originally?
No.
Okay, so
it's
still it's either PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 4 then.
It could be PS1, I think, right? Or did PS1 games come out after?
It is. It could be a PS1 game.
God damn
it! There's a potential.
PS1 games were still coming out. We're still coming out around that time.
Okay.
We should try to get genre maybe.
All right. So this is not so much a hint, but I'll go ahead and help you guys out. It is not on PS3, PS4, PS5. So so there you go.
PS1. I'm thinking PS2 game.
So then
I'm thinking PS2.
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of PS1 games came to PC.
What about PSP though?
Oh, we don't know if it's a console.
Okay, you know what? It is not available on portable. It is not available on their portable systems.
So
but
then,
actually, PSP and PS Vita were technically on the PS3's reign. So there you go. Like,
okay.
do you guys know how many questions you've asked so far?
Yeah, so
I do.
we asked 6. We asked
Okay.
6.
Okay.
So this is question 7.
Sounds about right.
So it was on between PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. It was exclusive to only to those one of those consoles, and
But it wasn't first party.
Yeah, it came out in Japan on PC.
Yep.
But only on console here in America.
It could be a Monster Hunter game, actually. Wait, no, you play as humans. Never mind.
Right. Is this?
Go ahead.
Oh, is this a fighting game?
No.
Oh, that was a good question, actually. I'm thinking it's a JRPG or something.
Because it could. Oh, no, I was thinking of.
Is that a specific question?
Oh, is it a JRPG?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. So between PS1 and PS2, RPG, JRPG.
Probably Square Enix. Oh, we should narrow down PS1.
It never came to anything else, right? Or was this just at the time?
It was okay. So it has never been ported. So there's a clue for you. It has never been ported. Okay. So outside of its initial release, well, with the exception of, like I said, on the PC, it has never been ported. So it has not seen the light of day on other consoles since its launch.
Could this be a game from level 5?
That is a good question, but no.
Okay, so then
that was question 9, by the way.
Yep.
There was a particular RPG on PlayStation 2 that everybody loved that hadn't got a release, and I don't know if it came to PC though.
You know what? I'm curious. I will not take this as a guess if it does not happen to be the game. What's the game you're thinking about?
But then it has human characters, so it's not.
Okay, then don't even want to hear it then. Next question.
Human characters.
Because I was hinting at Dark Cloud, but it's not that.
Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. Let me look at the cast of characters real quickly just to make sure. But if I'm not mistaken, there was no such thing as a human character in this game.
I mean, it's definitely not Dark Cloud because Dark Cloud has a human on the front.
It also came to PS4, I think. It's on yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic.
It's a classic.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna ask, is this on PS2? Is this coming to PS2?
It is not coming to PS2.
So it's PS1.
It's a PlayStation 1.
Oh.
Well, that drastically narrows down.
Yeah.
So it could be.
What about Wild Arms? That was a PS1 RPG.
But it was.
I think you play as humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you go into mechs.
You know what? I'll be nice. I'll give you an early clue. This is part of a long-running series.
That is a long-running series.
It's part of a long-running series. So it's had more. This series has had more than one sequel.
What if it's like Final Fantasy Tactics or something?
No, it has.
Damn it! I keep forgetting that. PS1.
I just verified real quickly. Yeah, there are no human characters in this game. So it's it's complete. So there you go. I don't know if that helps you or what, but no human characters in this game.
Because it can't.
It's not Final Fantasy.
It can't be Disgaea because Disgaea didn't start up to PS2.
It can't be. I don't think it's a Final Fantasy game because they all pretty much got ported, and you play as humans mostly.
Yeah.
And Final Fantasy 7, you play as a human.
And working design they made RPGs for PlayStation 1, but they didn't make any ones that were just full animals.
What about Knights? Did Knights Journey of Dreams come out on PS1? Is that but that's not a JRPG though, right?
I don't think Knights. I don't think Knights actually came out on PS1. I don't think so.
Sega Dreamcast.
But also it's not the game. It's not this game.
Yeah. It's not even an RPG.
Yeah.
Oh man.
A long running spot. Question: how many games?
Wait. Is it actually going to be a question, or are you trying to sneak a hint from me? Okay. All right. So ask your question.
How many games came out for this particular franchise?
That's probably a hard question to answer because some series have so many like spin-off games, and
What? I wouldn't say
it's supposed to be a yes or no question, right?
No, it doesn't have to be a yes or no.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't
Okay.
technically have to be a yes or no question. Like you can ask a question. I'm going to try to not be as open ended as possible. I need to look that up. So go ahead and ask your next question before I say whether this counts as a question.
Okay.
Okay. I've got my info. There have been 6 games in this series.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I'm counting that as a question.
No humans in this game.
The reason why I had to look it up is because I could not remember for sure if it actually came out on if this game has been out on like the handhelds like as continuations. I had to look that up.
And see, I'm trying to go through all
Breath of Fire.
human characters.
You play as a
no.
You play as a
no
dragon.
human thing
But you
is
start out as a
really
human
the
character.
tripping me up.
No.
Wait, what'd you say, Austin?
The no human characters is really what's tripping me up. Everything I could think of has humans in it.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Wait,
I mean, wasn't Legend of Mana PS1?
Did that come out after 2000 though? Because this is the late PS1 game.
Right,
Really
but it's
late.
right.
Legend of Mana.
What the?
Well, first of all, Legend of Mana is not it. So
This is so hard. There's got to be something else we can narrow
Let me
down.
tell you right now.
Right.
you guys are actually your questions are actually pretty good. You are starting to line it up. Like I feel a couple more questions will probably get you in the right direction as long as they're not the wrong questions. If that makes sense.
Is it set in space?
No.
Like aliens?
No.
Okay.
No space. Okay.
So that throws out Xenogears. But
Is this
Xenogears has a human character?
Was this is this game like critically acclaimed, like known for being good, or is it?
You know what? I'm gonna say yes, but I think it's a matter of taste there because
So
you wouldn't. This game wouldn't have gotten the six separate titles if it wasn't critically acclaimed.
Okay.
Yeah. Was the battle system traditional? Like the
you're gonna have to explain traditional.
So like the Final Fantasy kind, you wait for the bar to go up. Turn-based.
Turn-based?
Yeah.
Turn-based combat, yes.
Okay. That was question 13, by the way, guys.
Yep.
Okay.
So we got a traditional turn-based RPG, PS1.
6 games.
Not first party. PC ports came to Japan.
Mm-hmm. Do we think it might be based on a license? I can't think of any licensed JRPG.
You know, as far as I can tell, this is not a licensed property. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice and not count that as a question for you guys. I'm gonna be nice. It's not based off of a licensed property. So this was initially a new IP. But here's a hint: this new IP did not originate on the system that this game I'm talking about.
Oh.
So like I said, it's a long running series. Like I said.
Oh, you're saying the series didn't start on the PS1?
This did not start on PS1.
Okay. Oh, is this a sequel?
Yes. Good question.
Okay.
Good question.
So going back,
I wonder if it's actually 2, or if it's like it could be like the third game in a. It doesn't have to be the second one.
Well, and that's why I said Legend of Mana, but because that would have been the
Isn't
fourth
Legend of Mana?
game.
Isn't Legend of Mana technically a prequel?
I don't know, cause I thought it.
What the Legend of Dragon?
But it's not that because we didn't get Trials of Mana.
Well, I've already told you though. Legend of Mana is not even in the wheelhouse. So stop asking questions about Legend of Mana. It's gonna get you in trouble.
I'm just saying.
You guys know Legend of Dragoon? Did that have human characters?
It did. Legend of Dragoon had human characters.
That doesn't have a franchise.
As a matter of fact, I think every character in Legend of Dragoon was a human. I think.
Huh. It only had one game too.
I kind of want to have LeRon or something, like if it's a Square game.
Do you all think that LeRon would have picked a Capcom game?
Because I'm thinking of Capcom, because Breath of Fire is a Capcom RPG, but yeah, you play as human. I don't know any other ones.
I was thinking of the Mega Man turn-based. But I don't know if Mega Man counts as a human.
No, because Mega Man didn't have a turn-based game until GameCube.
Like Battle Network.
Mega Man's not a JRPG either. Is
right.
it?
Well,
No.
those games are, but
They're-
not yet. Not the main series.
Mega Man Legends. Is that what it is?
That came to PS1, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that was a 3D action game.
And that wasn't a sequel to anything really.
Right.
How many questions have we asked?
14.
14.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
feel like
trying
I'm trying to think of something else to narrow it down, but I can't. Like even if I knew the year, it wouldn't help me out.
Oh yeah, that's true because back in that time period, everything was technically an RPG.
it has it could have been Shin Megami Tensei. Even though Persona did start on PS1, but that
Persona was going to be my guess, but
Play as humans, no?
humans.
The lack of human characters is throwing.
I thought I for sure had it figured out, and then he said no humans.
And it could be a lot,
and Shin Megami Tensei did start on Super Nintendo in Japan.
Okay, I have another question. So is this series still around today?
It's inactive.
Okay, it doesn't have it doesn't have any really modern entries in that series right now.
As a matter of fact, it's been a long time since this game has had a new sequel.
So that's 15.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it was like popular back PS1, PS2 days maybe, and then stopped. Maybe PS3 even. I don't know.
Yeah. After your next question, I'll give you a new clue.
I feel like I'm gonna be mad when I figure out.
Yeah.
When we figure out what it is.
I'm trying to think of all the publishers who put something on there because sometimes there were side publishers, like small publishers, who put RPGs on there, on the PS1. Because of like Working Design, SquareSoft.
I feel like you guys, if you guys can ask one really good question, this will help you nail it. Is
there a Dragon Quest game? No, you play as a human too, right? And all those?
Right.
Yeah, Dragon Quest has human characters.
God damn. And Dragon Quest has way more than it's a modern current franchise.
Right.
And
yeah.
It's inactive.
I'm trying to think of what like a list of like best PS1 RPGs, you know.
Because it's not Chrono Cross because that's
Chrono Trigger.
Wait, Weekend. It's not
the Chrono games have humans. The Chrono games have humans.
It'll be good
as selectable characters.
PS1.
There's that.
Is it that? What's that one CD game that was like Pokemon that you put different CDs in to get? Is it Monster Rancher?
Monster Rancher.
Yeah. You play as a human.
Yeah.
And that came to.
It's assuming that your controlling character, the character you're using to get the commands, is a human.
Okay.
I was thinking Digimon too, and you play as a human mostly.
Yeah.
They just had a game recently though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think this game had multiple, but there's that Chocobo dungeon. And I remember there's humans in that one.
Yeah, the new one came to Switch last year.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah. And that's like I would consider that Final Fantasy, you know. I feel like that would be like relevant.
Well, I didn't know if there's like 6 games of the Chocobo Dungeon series that I just didn't even.
Because I'm thinking.
So I'm just gonna. Okay, is this a Square game?
No. This is starting to get good now. This is starting to get good.
Do you play? Do you play as an animal?
No.
No animals.
Okay.
Ooh,
so
that was question 17.
So then could it be something
You like an
demon
alien?
related?
Or like a.
Wait. Hold on. All right, you do not play as an animal. I can tell you that right now. So, as a matter of fact, none of the characters that are selectable for your party system can even be considered animals.
Huh.
So they have to
like
be
demons or like.
Yeah.
Right, because it couldn't be there's no RPG with robots in it. That's just straight full robots.
It could be like, what about dinosaurs? Oh, no, it wouldn't be dinosaurs.
No, Dino Crisis was right because Armored Core was like the only kind of mecha game on PlayStation 1.
Parasite, no, Parasite Eve is, yeah.
It's human.
God damn. And that's Square too.
It can't be Oni because even though that was Bungie that has a human character controlling the machine. Dang it!
You guys are in the right direction.
There's 6 games.
You've got 2 more.
Oh, I'm
Excuse
afraid
me.
to ask a question now.
You've got two more. You've got 2 more questions before you have to take your guess.
Mm.
Damn. Damn, did I really come up with a good one? Wow, Corey's gonna be proud of me.
It's hard. PC port.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
We started so well too. We narrowed it down
Because
so well.
PlayStation 1 has so many RPGs, and if you think about it, if you go out of Square and you look at Atlas, you look at Working Design, you look at just a whole bunch of developers and
Capcom
stuff.
too. Yeah.
Capcom, they had a lot of big RPGs, but also small ones.
Okay,
Oh,
here's
man.
okay. Here's the hint, and Ed and Austin should be able to figure this out. Who's one of my all time favorite You know what?
So is it a Capcom game?
That's what I'm thinking.
There you go. Because I was getting ready to say my hint is it's the same company that gives us Monster Hunter.
Okay, so a
Well, that eliminates the guess that I had.
What was your guess? I want to hear it. I'm curious.
So I was trying to think of games that came out PlayStation 1 towards the end of the life cycle, JRPGs, and have multiple entries and have been dormant for a while. I landed on Summon Night.
No, that would have been a good one though. That would have been a good one. That's not it though.
Capcom.
All right, one more question, and then you have to. And it's time to guess.
Mine wasn't a question.
No. I didn't count. I didn't count yours. I didn't count yours.
I mean,
no, Greysun. When Greysun asked if it was a Capcom game, that was 18.
Got you.
I mean, besides, because it has Breath of Fire is the only RPG from Capcom because that came out on Super Nintendo with 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So it started off in Japan. It made in Japan Super Famicom. It started off, but I don't know which one came to PC only that didn't get released on PlayStation 1.
Do not focus on the PC only. The PC only one was just a port. Do not focus on that. Don't. You don't want to blow your last question trying to focus on the PC port. You don't.
Yeah, and Breath of Fire 3, that was on PS1. That came to like PSP and stuff later on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
Breath of Fire 4 was that on PS1 too?
I think it was PS2.
Okay.
That's you play as he says the whole party is not human, and in those games you play with humans usually, and the main character is a dragon. So that wouldn't count.
Yeah.
I never had my own PS1.
Hold on.
I had to borrow my fit.
I have my guess.
Hang on. Let me just double check real fast. I'm 100% positive that none of the characters in this game are considered human.
Because it has to.
If so, I want like 15 questions back.
Because I think Breath of Fire. Right. Because I think Breath of Fire 4 was. All the other characters were like they would have been like animals.
It depends on the game. Yeah, they had different party members. Sometimes you would team up with like animals. Sometimes they're just humans.
Right, and that's the only traditional turn-based RPG that I could think of that Capcom has done.
Try to think. Are there any RPGs that Capcom did in the PS2 days that are like part of that franchise? Because now I'm trying to think of like other ones, but I can only think
I'm gonna say yes, and I'm not gonna count that as a question. If this helps you, because you guys are on one more question, so I'm gonna say yes. This series did continue past a certain generation.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so then it would have to go up to PS2 and end there. It couldn't be Okami because that was 3D action.
It has only been like 2 Okami games.
Right, and it already
this game this has had at least 6.
Right, and Okami started on PS2. So
what the heck is this? Because Capcom was doing a lot of Resident Evil, like in the PS2 days, and like I don't know what other RPGs they were like. Because Capcom doesn't really do JRPGs. Like, they had the Mega Man games on the Game Boy Advance, and then like
I'm trying to think.
They made the Minish Cap.
It's been a long time since Capcom did a JRPG. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like Dragon's Dogma was that's kind of like a Western RPG though.
Right, and that was PS3.
yeah. That's not. I was just thinking of other ones. What the heck?
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win.
What is Omniusha? Is that RPG? No.
Onimusha
is not.
Onimusha is like an action style. I put in the same vein as Resident Evil and Devil May Cry.
Yeah, because that's where it originated from.
As a matter of fact, Onimusha's engine
was PS2.
Onimusha's engine was what they were trying to get Resident Evil to do before RE4 happened.
I don't know. I don't know what to ask.
Hey, Corey's gonna be so proud of me. I need to message him right now.
we have the company and the genre, and like, I guess maybe it's knowing the setting or something, but that wouldn't really help me out, I think. Gosh. Capcom.
I don't think
this is riveting.
Man,
I'm so stumped. Capcom.
none of the Mega Man games.
Because all I know is like Street Fighter and like Mega Man and Resident Evil and Capcom. It's so hard.
I really have no idea. I
don't know what to ask at this point. That's how. There's not really anything else you can.
Capcom JRPG, no humans.
I am looking at the cast of characters right now. I am pretty positive that none of these characters are human.
Yeah, Breath of Fire and Breath of Fire and Monster Hunter is the only RPGs that I could think of that they ever did. Because the Mega Man RPG didn't come to GameCube. Resident Evil didn't have one.
Dino Crisis didn't have one.
Yeah.
There's
Dino Crisis is a JRPG. Think about that for a second.
I would love it. Beautiful Joe.
Beautiful Joe didn't come to
PS2 and Xbox. Now we have like 3 games in the series. 4 games, I guess.
And the only past games that they did on before PS1, as they started off, like I said, was Super Nintendo, and that only would have been Breath of Fire.
There has to be something else that I don't know. It's something I don't know, I guess. Maybe.
Because like Capcom didn't put that many RPGs out. The only RPG they put out was that Legend of Zelda for Game Boy, this Oracle of Seasons and stuff, and that was with Nintendo.
Yeah.
All I can think.
That's not a JRPG.
All I can think of that was on PS1 is Breath of Fire.
It's gotta be.
Okay.
That game does have like 6 entries.
I have. Yep. I mean, I have a guess if we ever get to it, but it's probably wrong, anyways.
What?
Because if this is
what's your guess? What's your guess?
I mean, it's the only thing I can possibly think of is Breath of Fire 4.
Your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Oh,
Josh just won the game for you guys.
What?
So there's no humans in Breath of Fire.
I looked. You know what? I looked up both times you asked that question. I had to look it up to be sure.
We kept coming back to it. It's like the only thing I could think of. Like, okay, it's got to be far enough up, but didn't get ported.
Right, and I did say Breath of Fire 4, but
I don't recall you
said it was on PS2.
I didn't say it was on PS2.
Ed did say it because that's what put it in my mind.
You didn't ask if it was Breath of Fire 4. You didn't ask until just now.
No, he said it out loud. Like
Grayson actually said it first, though. Grayson actually said
Breath of Fire. Y'all said it, and I said
it. I was playing the first Breath of Fire game like last week with my friend on the street.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so it's very relevant in my mind. So it's so funny that you chose. Wait, so Breath of Fire 4 was on PS1 too?
Yeah.
Breath of Fire 3 was on PS1 as well.
As a matter of fact, I remember Breath of Fire. The reason why Breath of Fire 4, in my opinion, was probably is one of the ones that stick out for me. I do remember it was. Breath of Fire 4 was the last PlayStation game I bought as a physical title. It was the last PlayStation title because
because it did get ported to PS. It get PS3 or PS4 ported. That's why.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did because
it is not on. Breath of Fire 2 and 3 made it to the digital
Breath
stores.
Breath of Fire 4 is on PS1 as one of the classics. Because I have it on my PS4.
Hold on. Oh, you know what? If you have it on PS4, hold on.
As I said it was one of the classics, and you said it never got ported.
Breath of Fire 3
as far as I know, as far as I know, this game has not. This game has not come forward.
According to Wikipedia, Breath of Fire 4 was released on PlayStation and it came to Windows in 2003 for Japan and Europe.
I played it on PS4 because I
played Breath of Fire 3 because Breath of Fire 3 has been on the PlayStation Classics on the PSP store.
Right, but PS4 has it. I have it on that system because I played it there. I didn't play Breath of Fire 4 on PS1.
PlayStation Wait, hold on. PlayStation Classic.
I thought it was on PlayStation 4 also.
PlayStation Classics installment.
Yeah, right. I think he's right. I just saw an article.
PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm seeing a PlayStation Lifestyle.
It's no longer available though.
Yeah, no way.
But he said it didn't get ported, so that's what I'm thinking.
Now we'll say.
Okay, so I was wrong. I wasn't aware that they made a PS1 Classic.
PS1 Classic counts as a port though.
I don't consider it a port.
Because then, like, almost every Nintendo game ever that gets re-released is a port.
Is a port, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's just my personal take, though.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because you wouldn't say like Super Metroid is ported to Switch, you know.
So I apologize. I was not aware of this, so I apologize to you guys if I said it was not on PlayStation Classics. Because to my knowledge, it never hit PlayStation Classics. Because I would have spent the $6 and bought it again.
Yeah, I remember seeing it and buying it because they had like a classic sale on PlayStation 4.
Because in my opinion, like I feel like Breath of Fire 4 was better than Breath of Fire 3, but not better than Breath of Fire 2. But not better than Breath of Fire 2.
I've only played 3, and I played that when I was a kid, and that was like one of my first JRPGs. So that like has a nostalgia factor, but I haven't played it in a very long time.
Yeah. I played Breath of Fire 4 before I played Breath of Fire 3, and that's why I think Breath of Fire 4 is a stronger game.
Sense.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was a good one. That was a good pick. Yeah.
Aren't they technically humans though?
Well, yeah. Okay. So all right. So let's see here. Okay. So the main characters are Ryu, Nina, and Cray. Ryu is a reincarnation of a dragon, and he's also half the persona of Emperor Fulu, who is the bad guy for this game, who has also been resurrected, but he is also a dragon. And while technically they are in human form, they're actually gods.
That's what I'm thinking. I was thinking of their appearance.
Yeah, that's where we got tripped up at. Yeah, that's why I was just like, I can't think of anything else. Like,
there literally is nothing.
It has to be this series,
right? Yeah. And when he said Capcom, that's why I showing my age. Going through all of those RPGs like Atlas, Working Design, Square Enix, Capcom, like there was a whole bunch of RPGs that was on PlayStation that you wouldn't even expect. So that's why I'm just trying to go do a Rolodex of my mind of all the PS1 RPGs that I played on that system.
It's funny because I was going to ask.
Aren't you glad I didn't pick Aren't you glad I didn't pick a Japanese exclusive like only in Japan?
You would have picked You would have picked Arc the Lad before it came to America. I would have got that one quick.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, Arc the Lad? Oh, look it up. Yeah, it was supposed to come to America. It got localized, but they didn't release it. They only kept it in Japan. It came as a trilogy, I think, on PS3 later on, or PS2, before they brought it here. But
I
guys,
just want to play Breath of Fire 3.
But guys, I'm about to go. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Because we're at that section where it's time to plug ourselves anyway. So why don't you go ahead and get started?
Okay, you guys can find me on Nintendo Pop Block on Mondays at 7:30, 8:30 p.m. on Boss Rush Games. On Twitch, you can check out more of my writings at bossrushgames.com. Follow me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode. And check out Recap on Boss Rush Games, Optional Opinion on SoundCloud, World War One Podcast on Podbean.com. And yes, everybody also check out the debut episode of Hunters for Hire. Everything that is Monster Hunter related. With that, everybody, have a great day. Have a great weekend. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
See you later.
Damn,
Ed.
that was a mouthful.
Yeah. That's our show for the week. We'd like to give a big thanks to you for tuning in and listening to the Boss Rush podcast. Before we head out, here's how you can get connected and stay connected with our panelists. Grayson, tell everybody where they can find you at.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at Greysun Morales, and you can find my writings over at Game Rant. I also have my own podcast. I haven't put out an episode in a few weeks, but it's called the Positive Players Podcast, and you can find that on all the the podcast services. It was originally a basically an interview style podcast where I chose people from my industry friends pretty much and talked to them about how they got into the gaming industry, how they were dealing with COVID and stuff. It was just like born out of COVID essentially last year. So yeah, you can check that out and give it a listen if you wanted to.
Cool. Josh.
Every Thursday night, and it posts sometime on Friday whenever Corey or I gets it edited. You can find me on Sour Casuals talking about all things in Destiny, and then as always on Twitter and Twitch as at Josh_Finn with 2 N's.
All right. Austin.
Find me on Twitter at PlayStawson, and you can find my Switch code and find everything else that I do on the pinned tweet, and then check me out on Crossroads with LeRon on Tuesdays at 8/7 Central.
All right. And of course, you guys can always follow me on social media at Exodus803, EXODUS803. My Twitch channel, which you're watching this show on right now, twitch.tv/Exodus803. Exodus803 is also my gamer tag for practically every platform I am on, so you can find me there if you're looking to chat and play games maybe. And yes, the Crossroads PlayStation Podcast for Boss Rush Games, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Twitch channel. And the brand new Hunters for Hire show has started, which is the Monster Hunter podcast for Boss Rush Games with myself and Jacob Taylor, better known as Galatrad. Those happen every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Twitch channel. I'm done talking about myself, so here's your reminder to head over to bossrushgames.com and take a look at all the content Boss Rush has to offer. And currently, Boss Rush Games is calling for all writers. If you're passionate about video games, you enjoy writing, and are hoping for a place to publish, give us an email over at opportunities@brg@gmail.com, opportunities@brg@gmail.com to apply. If you're serious about what our writing, if you're curious about what our writing team is getting done, check them out. Head over to bossrushgames.com today and take a look at some of the articles. I'm trying to think. Does anyone remember the Boss Rush banner? I should have had it pulled up. I'm sorry. Does anyone remember the current Boss Rush banner?
We have a banner?
Banter.
Banter.
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I should have been more prepared. My bad. Don't forget about other shows and editorials available over at bossrushgames.com. And the Boss Rush Games family wants you all to have a great day. Go out there, play video games, be better. And that's our show. Take care of yourselves, and we will be back here next week. So long.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you, everybody.